So, Dallas moves on from their head coach and from Rascal.
It's been straight into it.
It's been such a dramatic season for this team. So, in a way, the announcement last night was both a surprise and it's not a surprise at all by this point, really. Fuel's owner Hastro's statement read in part, while we recognise many of the challenges Kyle faced with the Dallas Fuel were beyond his control. He mentions that there comes a time where change is necessary for the team to move forward, and we felt like that time is now. He said about Rascal, his commitment to the team did not meet our expectations, and his unwillingness to communicate with the team while playing in recent matches became a large distraction. Now, okay, we'll address this one.
Let Mitch go first.
Yeah, I don't have much to say, really. I spent a lot of time, took a lot of opportunities to defend KyKy. I thought he had a tough job. I think they all do. I think there are a lot of problems that have been bubbling under the surface in the Dallas Fuel for quite some time. And I just think by the end of it, he probably just felt like he'd done all he could. I think it is definitely a good time for a bit of a mix-up, a bit of a...
I think KyKy's probably happy this is over a little bit. He was taking a lot of shots, and I don't know if it's all on him, right? I mean, you saw they started to play better recently, right? I mean,
they did.
Started
That's what's so ridiculous. I mean, we look at the Dallas Fuel, and KyKy in particular, people are complaining about him as a coach, but even in Hastro's tweet, he's saying that it wasn't KyKy's decisions necessarily that led to this moment. And we know Kyle from his previous time on Envy. We know because he was the principal driver of the USA World Cup team in terms of selection and coaching last year.
He's been successful. Yeah.
He's been successful. Obviously has an eye for talent, and it seems like there were a lot of players signed to this roster which he didn't necessarily agree with. But he has had such a raw deal the entire time. There have been things that were out of his control, clearly, not only in terms of roster selection, but in terms of suspensions for the team, people getting sick, being in Korea. He's never really had a full roster to play with.
But if you say nothing, you give agency to people to insert whatever justification for things that happen that they want. They just go, okay, well, this must be why. You let them make up their own story.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, if we actually look at KyKy's performance, as you can see, he's right on your screen right now, I think it's been generally good considering the circumstances. And I do think that he was thrown under the bus a little bit by the management. I know their parting has been amiable. KyKy himself doesn't seem too broken up about it. But if we look at a tweet from Hastro a month ago, you really have to question what's going on with this roster. Look at what this says. It's been tough for us in the Fuel. Lots to work through still. No one is more passionate and affected than I am by these losses. Not sure why you have
you seen Reddit?
Not sure why you have to qualify yourself there, Hastro. Most important part, I put full control into the hands of our coaching and management staff.
Which means what?
We're giving them the opportunity to turn it around. Still burning blue. This was from 14th of March. Since then, they've gotten OGE. They started to look better. Even without OGE, they played a 3-2 match against New York. Now they're playing 3-2 versus Seoul.
That match, by the way, where they showcase a dive composition that only really started to look good because of Rascal and OGE being in this damn team.
I can understand, Rascal, maybe difficult to work with at times, but they looked so good when he was on Genji and Effect was on Tracer. That is the best they probably looked as a team with OG in the roster as well.
But but the point is, you can't say we're giving you full control, which is, by the way, how did they not have full control earlier?
What is
the change? Please qualify this change.
I don't know what that means.
And then you can't say that, and then a week after they finally get a main tank, get rid of your coach.
Which is honestly the reason why they were able to do the dive in the first place, because they needed that main tank to be playing. We have no idea what happened with Coco, by the way, and that's obviously up to him to talk about it or whatever.
I think everything's kind of just poorly timed in terms of wording out of Dallas, but I do think there's a point where you have to just hit a reset button. I think when you're expected to be we all expected them to be a top 4 team coming into the league, right? Without a doubt. When you're so far near the bottom, I think you just need to start from scratch. Just wipe the floor with everybody. I think you would look at stage 3 and 4 the rest of the way as almost tryouts for year 2 for this team. If people don't start turning.
If anybody wants to be on the team anymore,
if anybody wants to team.
Who's going to take a coaching job where the coach a week or a month after he was given full control is given the boot? There's not time to do anything. It's ridiculous. What? That's zero job security.
No, it's not much time to do anything.
And there are a lot of big fans of Rascal as well who are upset by this, and I can understand that. But I would encourage people just to think why he also got dropped from London, and I wonder, ask yourself if there's any consistency there or if there's any common theme that might link the two. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that in the future. All right, so let's move on.